Let's get started. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor James.
James Atterbury, pastor of Amargosa Christian Fellowship. Let's open by asking God's favor on this meeting. Our Heavenly Father, we approach you through Jesus to request your blessing upon this meeting of the Town Board of Amargosa Valley. We thank you, God, for giving us the freedom to assemble here to speak and act for the good of this town. We pray, O Lord, that everyone who is here would speak and act for the good of the citizens of our town. We believe that all things come from you and that you are good. We pray that you would grant wisdom to the members of this town board, that they would vote in a way that builds this town up. We ask that you would open our eyes to the needs that are all around us and give us guidance and wisdom to know how to best use the money of this town. Give us the courage that we need to change the things that need to be changed and the resolve to carry it out. Give this board the ability to work together in spite of disagreements they may have. Grant us all self-control and wisdom whenever we speak. May every word that is spoken at this meeting flow from love for God and love for one another. May your grace rest upon us this day as we look to you as our hope in difficult times. And we ask for these things by the authority of Jesus, the risen Lord. Amen.
Thank you, James. Okay. Pledge approval of the agenda. I am going to be pulling 6, 7, 8, and 14. Anybody have anything else? Okay. All right. General public comment, up to a 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period until specifically included on an agenda as an action item. I'm going to open this up for public comment. Seeing none from the ginormous crowd that we have tonight, I'm going to close public comment. We got one? As public comment? Okay. Sorry about that, Ava. Okay.
My name is Ava Prou, P-R-O-U-L-X. I just wanted to let the board know and the community know that the school is sponsoring the Santa workshop on December 21st. And that's it.
Thank you. What else do they need to know about? I mean, are they collecting gifts or donations?
We are collecting donations and gifts if they have them, and we're getting all the names together right now.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else for public comment? Come on up, Caitlin. Please state your first name and spell your last.
Caitlin Stone, S-T-O-N-E. Carolyn, last meeting you mentioned that you wish that we had more people in town to volunteer and do things more than events, correct?
Correct.
I would like to ask you, because right now we only have an economic and tourism committee, if I'm right?
We don't even have a committee right now.
Okay, well, we do have one that is sitting there.
And for people to volunteer, yes.
Yes. Why not create an environmental committee and try to address some of these issues that are pressing our town?
Sounds a good idea.
Is that something you guys would like to think about?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you.
If you have any specifics, why don't you send them over to the office so we can try to formulate what you'd like to have happen. I think that's a great idea with everything that's coming at us.
Are you, Caitlin, are you volunteering to chair that committee?
I think she is.
I think she is. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Is there any more public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. All right, we have a timed presentation. Ms. Caitlin Stone, representative for the 4-H, excuse me, to make a presentation about new programs available in the area from 4-H and discuss funding opportunities.
I'll try. Okay. I'll try my best. Is this good? Caitlin Stone, S-T-O-N-E. I'm going to read this so I don't miss anything. There are a lot of details. Well, good evening, everyone. And I'm proud to announce that I'm the new coordinator for 4-H Club and programs for Amargosa Valley. I appreciate the opportunity to share an overview of our current programs and explain how you can get involved in supporting our community. Can you hear me all right? Okay. I would like to thank Pat Minshall for inviting us to speak this evening, and we appreciate you giving us the platform to share our programs and plans for Amargosa. Thank you. I'd like to begin by reflecting on something that Carolyn mentioned at our last meeting, the need for a younger generation to step up and get involved with our town. I couldn't agree with her more, and I believe it all starts with our youth. It happens when we give them the opportunities to learn, grow, and lead. For anyone who may not be familiar, 4-H is the largest youth development organization in the U.S., and it's dedicated to helping young people thrive through hands-on learning in science, healthy living, and civic engagement. The primary focus of 4-H is positive youth development, nurturing leadership, responsibility, and creativity to set them up for lifelong success. I've had the pleasure of talking with people who have participated in 4-H programs. Hearing about their experiences was truly inspiring. This has led me to join 4-H and launch a 4-H Youth Sewing Club here in Amargosa. Please take a look at the picture collage printed on the backup of your agenda. It captures the heartwarming experience we had with our last project, where the kids created dog bandanas for their furry friends. So what you see on this picture goes well beyond some cute dogs wearing fashionable bandanas. It symbolizes the building of a strong foundation for the leadership. Our youth is developing confidence and taking pride in their work, essential traits for guiding their future success. As a parent, I can attest that our sewing club has already had a positive influence on my children. It's been helping them develop skills like patience, focus, and creativity. For those who may be interested in joining, our sewing club will meet for the last time this year on Friday, November 1st, from 10 a.m. to noon at the Christian Fellowship Church. We'll provide sewing machines, materials, and snacks. The club is open to ages 9 through 18 with a registration fee of only $1, and parents are welcome to join too. Thanks to our supportive community, the club is growing. Starting 2025, we'll be meeting twice a month, every first and third Friday of the month, beginning January 3rd. I would like to thank some people who have helped make this happen. Many thanks to Mary Schuick, Colette Johnston, and Mary Mosley for their incredible guidance and caring to our community. I'd also like to express my gratitude to the Christian Fellowship Church, Amargosa Public Library, the Senior Thrift Store, all the sewing ladies from the Quilts of Valor of Nye County, and the Shadow Mountain Quilters for their ongoing support. As for future programs, we're currently working on bringing some exciting new clubs to life, including a horse club, a baking club, and a dog club. For the horse club, the Lucas family will lead the horse club, teaching our youth about horse anatomy, nutrition, grooming, and more. We're grateful to Becca and Waylon for leading our youth through this initiative, and we're ready to support you in every step of the way. For the baking club, we're going to start meetings, and it will be held here at the community center on the second Friday of each month from 10 to noon, beginning Friday, January 10. So look out for the announcement in the December-January community newsletter. We're also having a baking event. Please join us at the community center for our gingerbread village decorating event on December 6th from 9 to noon. This event celebrates community values and what makes our community special. We'll explore the science behind icing, get creative with gingerbread house decorating, and brainstorm to vote on the official name for our new baking club. It will also be a cooking club. Our gingerbread village will be on display at our community Christmas dinner the following evening. Our community can vote for their favorite designs with prizes awarded to the top 3 decorators. We hope to start a new Christmas tradition with this initiative. And I believe they'll be decorating too that day, so we hope that everyone comes and decorate. I believe we're doing Winter Wonderland theme, yeah. For the dog club, we have an experienced dog leader from Pahrump who is very eager to come out to Amargosa and share her expertise and resources. We're looking for one dog-loving resident of Amargosa to step in as our club leader. So if you're interested in helping guide this club, please reach out to me after the meeting or ask for a volunteer form at our library. Additionally, these are some of the projects that we would like to bring to Amargosa. There is a program called the 4-H Cloverbud program, and it's for children ages from 5 to 7. If you have kids in this age group, we'd love to hear your thoughts on what activities they would enjoy. We'd also love to have a community project or activity that benefits both our youth and our town. So if you have any suggestions, please share your idea with us. We're looking for bilingual individuals who speak Spanish to help us connect with our Hispanic community and engage youth and parents through culturally relevant activities in their native language. So if you feel enthusiastic about any particular activity and you would like to lead your own club in Amargosa, we encourage you to become part of 4-H. Lastly, the success of these programs relies heavily on volunteer support. Just spreading the word about our initiatives would help us reach more families and enrich our community. Thanks everyone for your time today, and I look forward to creating more opportunities for our youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. That was wonderful. What was the age for the clover? Is it clover bud?
Yes, the clover bud is ages from 5 to 7, through 7, yes.
And you're going to have sewing machines for everybody?
For
or
the
do you need
clover buds,
donations?
we would like, we're not asking for donations at this time. At this time, we're asking for volunteers and club leaders. So if you'd like to volunteer or create your own club, we need a dog leader. So if there is a dog lover in town, please. We have the mentorship. We have everything that will be provided.
We have plenty of dog lovers. But,
Yeah.
do you need any sewing machines? Because I've got one that I don't want to have to use.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sure we can use it. The club is growing, so yeah, I'm sure we can use it.
Let
Yeah.
me know.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Okay.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I believe that there's a, I hate this age. The metal people that walk, you know.
Robotics?
Robots.
Robotics.
Robotics.
I think there's a robotics club in Pahrump, and I believe they've won prizes. I know that that would be something that would our kids would love, absolutely love. And also, I think it might be a good idea if you put all of this together and we send out a special letter to since we're so sparse here, to let everybody know what's going on. Also, I have the ability to possibly get a lot of cloth for you. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes, that would be lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, and I'll look into that robotics club in Pahrump. I'll probably visit them and see what it's like and try to bring it out here.
Would that fall under the 4-H?
Yes,
Or we
I
could
believe
put it
it's a
under-
4-H club, yes.
Oh, good.
There's actually people from Amargosa who participated in that in the past, but then the COVID came, so it kind of interrupted that from what I heard. But I think that's something that we should bring out here. I don't know if the school, Miss Ava, has any kind of robotics going on. I heard they were having 3D modeling.
Yeah, they are, and they're having,
You can talk to Amanda and see, at the school and see if there's any conflicts.
Right.
But we can join them. I
Yes,
would
we're
think.
here to supplement and to help them and not, take anything away. We're just here to add.
Great. Thank you,
Yes.
Caitlin.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Rebecca Lucas, LUCAS. I just have one last question. I know in the past you asked us about donations for snacks. Are you still interested in donations and stuff that way as well?
Yes. So I'm getting ready to get this club started, all the additional clubs, so I can actually have, a quantity and a budget for it. So that's just what I'm waiting for. Yes.
Let us
So once
know.
we start the baking club and then the horse club, and then just have a general idea of, how many kids we're going to have enrolled, because we're having open enrollment right now, so I don't know exactly what the number of kids would be. But that's that's something that would be nice for the club.
Are they
Thanks
going to
for
be
asking.
baking here in the community center?
For the baking club? Yes.
Fire department? Yeah, no. Just kidding. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Caitlin, for your budget, for your budget and fees and stuff, we do our budgets in May, so from now until then, just give us an estimate for each project, and then work on a budget for next year so we can fund it at one time for you. All right?
Thank you.
If we donate a sewing machine, can we get the kids to do our mending for us?
That was my whole point. Thanks for blowing it. Okay. I don't have my sewing machine. I gave it away. Okay. All right. Okay. Town office report. Rebecca?
All right. Rebecca Lucas, LUCAS. So before I jump into the vouchers, I have a few announcements I want to make that are, it's just announcements, events, and kind of like any special things we have going on that have come through the office. So we have quite a few events happening tomorrow and then through the month of November. So tomorrow is Trunk or Treat. Don't forget, 5 to 8 p.m. in the park parking lot, and the Trick or Treat train will start about 5 p.m. at Long Street if you want to do that as well. November 5th is Election Day. We will have a poll place here, so you could come vote here at the community center. You don't need to go to Pahrump or Vegas or anything. You could come here. And that'll be open, I believe, from like either 6 or 7 in the morning till 7 p.m. at night. So you have all day to come vote here. We have a new program from Centro Hispano. It's an ESL class. I need to slow down. What they do is they're teaching English to primarily Spanish speakers, and this will help them not only learn a second language, but give them an opportunity to move up in current employment or find better employment because they are now bilingual, so it opens more doors for them. This class is free, and they are doing it every Wednesday from 6 to 8:30, and they're having a big welcoming event on November 6th, and you guys are more than welcome to come see what it's all about. They're going to be serving treats and hot chocolate, so it's going to be a great event. And then we have Turkey Bingo on November 20th. That'll be sponsored by the school, so don't forget to come out and help that as well. I just want to remind everybody that the town board meetings move to the third Thursday of every month for November and December due to the holidays. So I know that there's always a lot of confusion about that. The office will be closed November 11th for Veterans Day and November 28th for Thanksgiving. And then our special request I have going on is I just got the 2 Raiders tickets for the January 4th game. It's a Saturday for the Raiders versus the Chargers. They're 2 lower level tickets with tailgate party passes. So it is a very pricey package that we are going to be auctioning off or raffling off. The raffle tickets will be $10 a ticket. If you buy 5, you get 1 free. And we will announce the winner at the community Christmas dinner right before the school does their pageant. So now that I got all that out of the way, let's move on to our vouchers. So there's nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, the park well and the community center air conditioning has been skyrocketing all summer, but now that it's cooling off, our air conditioner bill should be going down, but our propane bill will soon be rising. So with that being said, the total for, my total for regular bills is $3,616.92. My total for recurring bills is $7,938.70. And the total for the credit card checks and petty cash is $8,244.32, bringing the grand total of all vouchers for this month to $19,799.94.
Okay, I make a motion that we pay the, pay the vouchers as presented for $19,799.94.
Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Anybody have any questions?
I've got a short comment.
Okay.
We have finally got the AT&T bill settled down, getting that thing paid off, thank goodness. And we're using the VEA voice over IP thing. And so we're going to cut our phone bills down from between $4.50 and $4 to under $60. So AT&T has just been a nightmare to deal with, but we finally got that handled. So.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, I'm going to call for the vote.
All right.
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Hold on, just a little housekeeping.
Just a little side note, what that number shows you, because there wasn't anything really out of sync in there, is just how expensive everything is right now. And that's what we spend to run this place. It's crazy. Your vote matters on Tuesday.
Kidding. Okay, fire department report. Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica Caddermas, Kadrmas, and I am here with your fire department report. At the time of writing the report, I wrote the report on October 22nd. Our call breakdown was 8 EMS calls, 3 other calls, which are calls where we're called and then canceled while we're en route, called but we couldn't find what the emergency was. It was a false call, stuff like that. Or when we have to go and set up a landing zone for the ambulance, that falls under that category as well. They technically, as far as like NIFers and the fire marshal goes, they all fall under the fire category, but my reporting software puts them in their own category. But that brings us up to a total of 11 calls for this month. Currently, all vehicles remain operational. Joel just finished doing tires on engine 41. They look really good, and we're very happy to have tires that are in date. It's great. Training, we're still working on our water pump operations, scene safety, scene operations, incident command, as well as our EMS training. We're continuing to just try and build everybody's good repertoire so we have that great foundation for everybody to continue to build off of, especially our newer volunteers that don't have any training. It's where we focus on those building blocks first as we go up. My comments for this month, starting on November 1st, the burn ban will be lifted. We finally hit the 3 weeks under 80 degrees, so we can do our open burnings now. Burns must have a completed burn permit from me at the fire station. I'm at the fire station Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 3:30 every single day, unless, something happens. And you also have to call the Nye County Sheriff's non-emergency dispatch line and call in a controlled burn before you start and when you're done. That prevents us from getting false calls and you having a bunch of firefighters showing up at your door. That's pretty much it for my fire department report. I'm going to be up here a couple more times, so I'll wait.
Thank you, Jessica.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Not for me, thank you. We'll have more questions later.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks. Planning Committee. I don't see anybody here from the plan. Oh, they didn't have a meeting because someone was on vacation, I'm sure. No, they just didn't have a meeting. Senior Center report. Okay. Dave was gone on vacation, so he probably thinks it's tomorrow night. Next month. Okay. Okay, going to number 9 for possible discussion, action, and possible action, discussion, deliberation to approve, amend, or deny discussion, and deliberation to approve. Who wrote this? Double? Amend or deny request from Amargosa Valley School for their middle school trip to New York City in the amount of $10,000. Okay, Ava, you're up. I think you gave me too many. That's okay. Yeah. This one? Okay. Oh, I got them all.
My name is Ava Pro, Proulx. I'm a social worker at the school. I wanted to start and ask if I could have an amendment on that request somehow, or I don't know exactly what happened, but the paper didn't get in saying both of them on time. It got in the next day or something. So we wanted to see if we could put the amendment in that we were supposed to put in for the 8th grade and the New York trip.
So let me just make sure I've got you right. Okay, so you've got the 8th grade trip and the New York City trip in this $10,000 request.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's do the 8th grade trip first. How's that?
Okay.
Thanks.
So, do you want me to go through what they're going to be doing, or do you want me to talk money? Because I presented them, but I can start.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to tell everybody out there.
Okay.
The masses.
Okay. So, so the New York City trip is going to be for 4 days, and it's after school gets out. And they're using Explore America as their travel thing. And in New York City, there's 19 students going, and some adults are going too as well, but they're paying for themselves. So what they're going to do is they're going to go to Rockefeller Center, visit Fifth Avenue, go to the St. Patrick's Cathedral. They're going to go to the top of the rock, the Empire State Building. They're going to go to the edge of the Hudson, and they're going to go to like the observatory for the Old West Observatory. They're also going to see a musical. We just don't know which one is going to be on for that time. They didn't tell us which musical, any Broadway show in New York City. They are going to see Little Italy, and they're going to visit Times Square and the 9/11 monument, and they're going to do Central Park and all the war memorials, the memorials for each war that's in there. It's really kind of awesome thing. So this is a good experience for our students because they are, every time you take a kid and you introduce them to things that they don't normally have the opportunity to see, it raises their IQ score. And our students really need to see that there's other things in the world besides this little Amargosa. And they're excited to go. And every parent had to put in, a deposit down, and we had to set how much we're going to pay every month, or every 2 weeks, or however you wanted to set it up. And the parents are still paying on that every month. But the tour is going to set the students up for success, and hopefully it'll get them to know that there's more out there, but then bring it back into Amargosa and expand our little town here. So by the numbers, 93% of travelers say that their tour enhanced their knowledge of the world. 89% say that they understand more about new people, places, and cultures. 92% say they discovered more about themselves. And 88% of travelers say they grew more confident and independent. And that's what we want for our students. Anybody who wants to see these papers, they're actually back there on the table. I just put them on the table. So, so when we were talking about the money for the New York City, what we came up with New York City's total cost they have 20 students, is $46,000. So the grand total is $46,000. So far, we've paid $23,000 that the parents have paid, or we fundraise. That's for the parents have paid. We have fundraised for $5,500 so far. So for that trip, we have a remaining balance of $17,500 that we're trying to come up with. What we came up with for the two different trips is we're asking for $10,000 to cover the cost of the two trips. $3,000 will go to the 8th grade trip, which is a tradition in Amargosa Valley, and we want to make sure that every single student gets paid for. So that's why we're doing all this fundraising and things like that. The other $7,000 is what we're asking for the New York City trip for the middle school students. That was to break that down for you. Fundraising efforts are ongoing, and this request is part of our fundraising effort. In the event we don't get enough money to cover both trips, priority absolutely goes to the 8th grade trip. Every student will be paid for. So the middle school trip, we're still going to continue the fundraising, but the parents will be responsible for whatever doesn't get raised, which we're really close to our goal. And we have the Chicky Bingo coming up, and then we have some raffle baskets that we're starting for we're going to raffle them off at the Christmas thing, not sell the tickets that day, but raffle them off so that all the parents are here to be able to get their baskets. And then we have the concession stand for the turkey bingo as well. So that should get us pretty close. And we'll keep fundraising. And I made bows for the volleyball players, and we're actually starting a fundraiser with that because the kids love them. It has their name on it and it has sandblasters. So with each bow that we sell, we're making like $5. So, and that'll go to that as well. And we have cups that are that have the Amargosa sandblaster on that we're selling as a fundraiser. You know, the water cups. So the 8th grade trip, it was so much money to go to where were they going? Sorry. No, they were going to
The beach?
they're going to the beach. We are going to the beach still, but instead of going to the Universal Studios, that's what it was called. Instead of going to Universal Studios, we had a big meeting with the kids, and Six Flags was like half the cost. So after meeting with the kids, they decided that they would go to the Six Flags, which brought the cost down significantly. So with Six Flags, we're leaving the right before when spring break is just starting, so that when the kids come back, if they come back late, they won't be tired and miss school like they did last year. So for that trip, the total cost for admission, and then with the admission, they have this meal thing that every 90 minutes the kids can eat a meal at the park, and they get free refills on their drinks all day long. So with that and the tickets, it comes to $1,980 for the 18 students. Transportation, of course, for the bus driver is $1,500, and that we had to base that on last year's trip because we don't know how much it's going to cost us. So for the rooms and breakfast, that's at a hotel. The cheapest one we found was $2,220, which made a grand total of $5,680. And we've fundraised for this trip $1,100 already. So for this, we have $4,580 remaining. So I'm pretty confident we're going to get the rest of that money with our bingo, and we'll keep fundraising until we have enough money.
Okay, so I just want to, so you're asking, well, what I see here is you're wanting 4,500 for on the bottom. If they were able to fully fund request, because there's a lot of numbers floating around here, I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
So how you see it, the 10,000 coming out, right? So I've got 4,500 will be applied to the 8th grade trip.
No, $3,000 will go to the 8th grade trip.
I saw that, but I'm just looking at this too.
That's in this other thing right here, the blue paper.
So this is not up to date?
Yes, that's the numbers, but on here it's telling you that $3,000 is going to go towards that trip. That's the blue 3-page paper. Our ask. Because we're asking for we're asking for the 10,000. So what we were going to do is put 3,000 towards the 8th grade trip, and then the 7,000 towards the New York City trip. But if we don't have, but we're going to make the rest of the money because it'll only be $1,580 that we'll need to come up with for the 8th grade trip, and we absolutely can do that.
Oh, that was why I asked you, because you said the 8th grade trip is an absolute must. So
yeah, and so our fundraising first and foremost goes to the 8th grade trip, and then whatever after we get that fully funded, we're gonna then we'll do the other trip.
okay, I'm going to open it up to the other board members then. Go ahead.
Just to clarify, we had 3,000 for the 8th grade, 7,000 for New York City is what you're asking from us.
Right, correct.
Okay, all right. That was
Yeah,
it.
and I think that we can come up, I'm confident that we can come up with both, with fundraising the rest of the year. Because we have longer to fundraise for the New York City because that happens actually after school gets out.
That's why I guess I was going to say, that's why I was reading off of this. If that's a must, and anything they continue to fundraise, you just don't tell them that. Sorry if you're watching on TV. And then everything goes towards the New York City trip. That way you're in and you're still fundraising and
Right,
they still.
That's what
So,
we're still
okay.
going to do.
So it's not really a 3 and a 7. It's just.
It really isn't, but,
Okay, just-
but for to let you guys be, to be transparent, that we were going to give money to both trips. And that was kind
But
of
the 8th
calculated.
graders will get their trip fully funded.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's all. Okay. Pat?
I think this is a fantastic thing for our kids. I'd like to see them do it. When I graduated, we had a pool party. But I'm very old school when it comes to giving something for nothing, particularly money, except for Christmas and birthday. I would like to see these students do some community service. I think that the cemetery needs some cleanup. There are probably other things that need to be cleaned up. But that way they can say, I paid for this.
Yeah.
And when you pay for something, you really take care of it and appreciate it more. At least that's been my experience.
Yeah. And so this money, so the way we worked it was we actually calculated per student, with our spreadsheet at the school, we calculated it's $336 or something like that for each student. I don't know exact quote right now. And each student has to fundraise and earn that money. It's earning the money because it's fundraising. You know what I mean? But I absolutely can get them together and clean up the cemetery because I think that'd be a fantastic idea, honestly. And it's good for community service.
And I'm not asking for, 100 hours, just like an afternoon to go out
Yeah.
or morning or whatever type of thing.
And they love doing that. They cleaned up the whole area over there because they're starting a garden.
I'm going to let Mike take this because I know what I want to say. You want me to say it? Well, budget-wise, I have an idea, and I'm going to throw it out there because it's budget. We can do the 3,000 that you need for the 8th grade trip, and then the 7,000, because of what it is, educational, we can take that out of the room tax money. So I like Pat's idea.
I do too.
The 8th graders, the 8th grade trip, it's fully funded. And then the 7,000, because we don't know, if it's going to have to keep rolling or whatever, but we can take that legally out of the room tax.
Okay.
Okay.
In exchange for
In exchange for
5,000 a
For what?
to de-weed the cemetery.
Oh, that sounds great to me anyway.
you better
Okay,
look at the
you haven't
cemetery.
been down there. It's a big project. It would be a family project for a couple weekends.
That's okay.
But
These kids can do it.
we can fund the 3, and if they clean up the cemetery, that's the whole inside the fence. And there's a little space about this wide out in front. But if we get that done, we can make the 7 work.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, so you need a motion to that effect.
make the motion.
Now okay. So we'll make a motion to fund the request from the school for the $3,000 for the 8th grade trip, and then the $7,000 for the New York City trip will come once the school has cleaned the weeds out of the cemetery and the little space around the outside. But you should come down and we go for a walk down there. That is a big project. It is a big project.
Okay.
But that is my Motion. I can't hear you.
Yes, the November 11th, there's going to be the Veterans Day. So if we could get at least something, that would be fantastic. And I will second that motion. I'm going to open it up for comment. But you understand, we can, public comment? Jimmy, can you come up, please?
Jimmy Thomas, Thomas. Last time I was in here and they were discussing money for school trips, they were talking about a trip to Washington, D.C. and a trip to New York City. And consequently, they were also talking about this 8th grade trip that is a tradition in Amargosa. I don't know that it was a tradition. It's the first I've heard of it. But they were asking for $20,000. Now it's down to $10,000. Does this mean that later on we're going to come back with a request for Washington, D.C.? Or are they trading in Washington, D.C. for New York City?
We voted on the New York City, the Washington, D.C. trip last time. They were two separate agenda items, but this one wasn't clarified.
Okay, the last time, then I missed a meeting, I guess. Because the last one I heard it was for $20,000 for the two trips. But
Well,
there's still $20,000 for the two trips. You just did it incrementally, right?
correct, the correct way, yeah.
Okay.
And we're getting the 5 acres of the cemetery cleaned out
Yeah,
for that.
that's, you should go look at that, because that sounds like slave labor
Jimmy,
to me.
Jimmy,
That sounds like slave
Jimmy,
labor to me.
Jimmy,
It's on the record. We've got Ava
Jimmy.
on the
Yeah,
record.
we've got, she already said yes.
Rebecca Lucas, LUCAS. I just wanted to clarify that the DC trip last month, when there was the two on there, one was for Beatty High School and this one's for Amargosa Middle School. So they're two different schools, if that makes sense.
The last time I saw it was $20,000 for each school.
No, it was a total of 20,000. It was 10,000 for Beatty and then 10,000.
They had two people up here, and one lady, Sullivan lady from Beatty, put on a very good presentation for $20,000 for the Beatty school. The next person that came up asked for $20,000 also for the Amargosa school.
No, it was 10,000 and 10,000.
Well, okay, we've got the minutes for you. I have the minutes for you. Okay, I'm going to call for the vote.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Ava.
Okay, thank you.
And don't tell the kids I had anything to do with the cemetery. Please. It was just an idea. You committed them to it. Okay. Number 10, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or deny the minutes from the September 26th AVTV Town Board meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I'm going to call for the vote.
All right.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Number 11, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or deny increasing the volunteer run stipend from $5 to $10 per run starting December 1st, 2024, fiscal impact $5,000. Jessica.
Hello again, Jessica Cattermas, Kadrmas, and I'm the clerk for the fire department. I always forget to say that. So we're asking to increase our current run pay from $5 per run to $10 per run. The volunteers honestly really deserve it. They give their time, personal safety, and even in some cases where it can get really dangerous and really hairy, their lives, to be able to provide these services to the valley. And I believe that they deserve $10. I could go into, I have a whole breakdown of like where they could go other places and stuff like that, but I really think that I don't need to go that deep into it. Our volunteers deserve it. They work really hard. And we have a fantastic team, and I love them all to death.
Okay. I'm going to ask for a motion so we can discuss.
Okay, I make a motion that we increase the run stipend for our volunteer fire departments to $10 per run starting December 1st, 2024.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. Is there any comments from the board?
Questions, comments, concerns?
Yes.
No, I think they deserve it.
I wish that we could do much, much more.
Hopefully we'll get there someday.
Yeah, and I think if we had the money, we really could. $10 doesn't even cover the cost of their gas. So, yeah, absolutely.
Our volunteers very much, they do it for the love of the community. I mean, there's a reason why our slogan is courage, commitment, community, you know. It's what we do it for.
Okay. Yes, I agree that they're worth far more than 10, but right now, that's what we can afford, and we'll do what we can when we can. But I'm going to call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you, Jessica.
And my volunteers and I thank you too.
Stay put.
Oh, am I next again?
Yes, you're next.
Okay.
For possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or deny advertising fire department position for the part-time light-duty maintenance and administration. Pay to start between $13 and $15 per hour, depending on experience.
I'll make a motion that we approve or deliberate advertising or discuss advertising the fire department position at $13 to $15 an hour.
Can I get a, thank you. Okay. All right. I'm going to open this up for discussion. Number one, I want to say a couple things. I had on the ad that we were, or the job description, I should say, not ad. There's a couple things here. Job description for part-time fire department administration and light duty, it says mechanic, but it shouldn't. It should say maintenance. So I'd like to make that correction. And there are certain things, this particular position is, when Bruce left, Bruce trained Jessica to do very much of his work. And she absorbed and learned it and is trained in inventory, PPE, all the medical side, the radios, all of that. She works with the state fire marshal. And the things that we have in this job description are things that can fall through the cracks and have been falling through the cracks because she's only one person. And it's very important to me, and I think to this town, or to the board, that we don't get into, we have two people in there, because we kind of hold ourselves hostage when, with Bruce, thank God for his professionalism, sticking with it, continuing to build his team, not walking away when he had many reasons to go ahead and walk away. But one thing happens when you do that, how do I put it? He was a one-man show, and he did it all. And so he saw the writing, he knew he was leaving, and so he got Jessica on board. We interviewed for that position, and he trained her to make sure that there wasn't a bump in the road. And quite frankly, it's been pretty doggone good. She's done an excellent job. I just want to make sure, as Bruce told her already before he left, do not do everything. This job will suck the life out of you. And so we need two people in the office at varying times, kind of like what we've got right now with the town, and even that needs to be changed to a degree. But we want to make sure that it's covered, because we've had people come to the fire department for help, and there's nobody there because she's working 11:30 to 3:30, and we have Joel doing all the heavy-duty mechanics, all checking everything. So what we need to do is make sure that the run sheets, not the run sheets, but the inspection sheets are all done. And I want somebody in there, and I was met with, I said, I don't really care if they're a member of the fire department. I prefer they're not. I want somebody to take care of the team. Somebody that goes in there and does the job, that's not going to get called out on an emergency, a fire, a medical emergency at 3 a.m. and then can't, and they're stuck out on the 15 or the 95 for 15 hours because there's a lithium fire. So we just need to take care of these folks that take care of us every day, 24/7. So that's my thought process on this. And this particular job description does exactly that, because she's doing the rest of what is required to keep everything for OSHA and everything that's running smoothly and safely. So that's what I have to say about that. I'll go open it up for everybody else.
I think that we need a Bruce Jensen type firefighter that has a 1 or 2 level, plus EMT hopefully. And that means we need a better range of pay, up to $22 an hour, if someone is that qualified. We need somebody to really go out, and I don't think this was done in the past. We have teenagers, and I think from 16 up, they could be a junior firefighter.
We do have a junior cadet program. The way that our junior cadet program works is at 16 you are allowed to start coming to trainings and meetings and stuff, so long as you are endorsed by a firefighter that is already a member. We've had Brenda's grandson was a member of our junior program for a while, and it's a great program. It can teach you quite a lot. The kids never do any of the unsafe things. They only participate in the trainings. They can come to the meetings if they want to see what a fire department runs like, and that kind of experience and training. I'm working on trying to get more programs set up with the high school so that maybe they can earn like extra credit or something in a class by participating in the cadet program. And it is something that we do offer and we do have. My confusion is why do you think that they need to have a fire certification? I'm just confused on that aspect, because this is just like a maintenance and helping me in the office thing.
I think it should be. My point is, I think it should be more than maintenance. I think we need a Jensen, a Bruce, mm-hmm. In the office that can do the training. Mm-hmm. So I guess I would like to expand this.
To what?
Well, he can't be fire chief because they vote on that.
That's not a paid position.
It's a volunteer position.
It's a volunteer position. They vote on it. But right. This is what we're doing with trying to do with 2 people was what Bruce was paid for. You're never going to get another Bruce Jensen, especially with what he went through, put up with.
He was definitely a unicorn.
He was a unicorn.
Not one we get often.
He was a unicorn. But this is to make sure that all the forms, everything's done, the radios are, all of the communication lines are still open. And so this is, I think maybe if we redid her job description, which we're probably going to have to do next month, so you see what she is doing, what he trained her to do, I think that would give a better picture. But to expand this, I'm not sure. They're working in tandem, so nothing falls through the cracks, and they will work off of each other. So like when she goes on vacation, she went last 6 months ago or whatever.
Yeah, when we went.
There was nobody. Not a Bruce, not a Jessica. And so I have no problem expanding it if it makes sense, but firefighter 1 for this position, if they fall in love with the fire department, this is me talking. If they fall in love with the fire department and they want to advance with the fire department, that's fantastic. But while they're servicing or helping the team, that's their job. And so if they want to advance, take a firefighter class, etc., learn how to drive the truck, like all the rest of them did, then that's, for me, that's fine. But we're not looking for another fire chief because, like I said, he didn't get paid for fire chief. He got paid for what she was doing right now, because they just absorbed it together. We just don't want anything else to fall through the cracks like it did last time, because he was generous enough to stay a lot longer than he wanted to.
Bruce put in a lot of hours that were unpaid for a lot of the stuff that he did. I mean, I have a whole lot of notes on it, but you guys have pretty much touched on everything. This is definitely, in my eyes, as the lady that sits over there and does the clicking and clacking away on the keyboard and stuff, this is a position that could very well expand to something that is full-time. I would love to be able to go back to my original job description. I would love to just be doing reports and social media posts and stuff like that again. And so this right now is just to start to give me help. There's a lot. I don't have knowledge. I know the equipment, but I don't know the equipment super, super well. I haven't been able to do the daily checks because I'm trying to just keep the office and everything legal and keeping our OSHA and our safety and everything up to standard. And so there's a lot of stuff that I just don't have the knowledge for, that I just didn't have enough time with Bruce with, and having a second set of hands, a second set of eyes, having somebody be able to be in that office for 8 hours a day just by itself is going to be absolutely invaluable to the services that we can render for the department, because the amount of phone calls and emails and stuff that I probably miss not sitting in the office in the morning, it is, I can't even tell you, is probably astronomical, the amount of stuff that probably slips through the cracks just because I'm not there 8 hours a day.
I still think we need somebody that can train on all the equipment.
Who's training now?
Currently training is being done. It's a combination of all of the officers, so it's Jack Seipel, James Atterbury, and Juan Famont.
I can't hear what you're saying.
It's a combination of all of our officers, so Jack Seipel is interim chief, Juan Famont as captain, and James Atterbury as captain. The three of them have been doing the fire trainings, and then I've been doing all of the EMS trainings. So that kind of fell into the volunteers' hands when Bruce left. But Bruce, when he did the trainings, it wasn't something that he was paid doing. He was doing it because he was our chief, and he felt it was right to be able to do that. It wasn't.
Well, I believe that was part of his job training, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
What were you paying him for then?
Exactly what this says. His was light duty.
He was a light duty mechanic and maintenance, as well as the admin for the fire department. So he handled all of the paperwork. He did the daily checks on the equipment. He did most of the repairs on the equipment that we now pay Joel for. That was the kind of stuff that Bruce was doing.
He did a lot more than he was paid for. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The training and the being a firefighter and stuff like that, that all for Bruce fell underneath him being a fire chief. It really wasn't part of his job description. That was just because he loved the department so much. And so he did it because he knew that we needed it and that it needed to be done.
Lest you forget, we hired Bruce because Trevor could not keep up with the reports they were due to make. The reports were like 6 to 9 months behind, and we were getting hammered for that. And we hired Bruce to go in there and do that, and also be a light maintenance mechanic, take care of the building, take care of the equipment, and all that stuff. That's what he was hired to do. He was not hired to be a fireman or to be a fire chief. He was hired to be a light maintenance mechanic and administrative assistant.
He was a unicorn.
He was a unicorn.
He did it extremely well, better than anybody I know there has done. He was better than any of the 2 fire chiefs that we had.
Bruce definitely went above and beyond his job description.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. We appreciate every minute he gave us. One of the reasons that we have to stay part-time with everybody, with public employees, not only if you go from part-time to full-time is that you double the salary, with the benefits that are required for a public employee full-time, that's another 45% gets tacked onto that. A lot of comments made last time, well, why don't we just pay everybody full-time and so forth? Nobody else is watching those numbers. Last year, we had total revenue right about 500,000 bucks. We spent 475 of that. Pretty tight. That's, what is that? That's, you know, not much. I mean, that is a very tight, we're within 1%. That's how close we run this place. So what I like to have, what I love to, we've got one guy right now that I wish to heaven we had a way of paying him full-time so he could have benefits for he and his family. We just don't have it as much as we would like to. You know, maybe a few years down the road, maybe there are some things that might happen, but today, we don't have it today.
There's always room to expand. But you got to start from somewhere.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. In fact, and this, so when I started in 2012, everybody was part-time then, because the town had done something prior to that, had not paid somebody like they were supposed to, and we ended up with a $90,000 penalty, and everybody went part-time at that point. So that's just the way it is. We can't print Amargosa bucks unless the employees would take them.
I mean, we could turn into a company town, I'm just saying.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, we can't do what Washington does, can't keep printing it, so that's where it's at.
I had a question about the position. How many hours is this going to be?
It has to stay at 20.
20, okay. So 4 hours a day?
Yeah, 4 or 5, whatever.
And my envision of the schedule, for if you guys want to know, it would be 8 a.m. to 3:30 in the afternoon. That way there's a 30-minute overlap where both people are in the office. That way we can communicate, work on projects that need to be done together, that kind of thing. Because I'm envisioning that this person is going to be kind of like a liaison between me and Joel that can kind of take that mechanical knowledge that Joel has and is great at talking about that I don't understand and break it into layman's terms so I know what I need to order for them. And be able to help me with like the equipment report and stuff. I want to be able to tell you more than all of the vehicles are operational because I want to be able to tell you exactly what happened. I just don't know enough to be able to put that on paper. You know what I mean? And having that second person will really help with that equipment kind of knowledge and the maintenance and the helping me and everything. I really just need the help.
And let me correct me if I'm wrong. That's what you did for Bruce.
Yep.
He just told you what to order and things like that because he had the knowledge.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so this is where, you know, the captains come in and the chief comes in, and that's part and parcel of it. That was what Bruce did. So.
And Bruce very much was like a liaison between the fire department and the town board and the county. And that's kind of what I've absorbed is I'm now that liaison. I'm the one that comes to the town board meetings. I'm the one that goes to all the county meetings. I'm kind of the face now. And I am great at being that face, and I'm great at clerical work and office work and that kind of stuff. But when you put me in the bay and I'm looking at one of the tenders, I could tell you what they do, but I can't turn it on. I could tell you where everything is on that truck. But it's like the extrication equipment, I don't know how to operate it. I'm an EMT, so I'm inside the vehicle telling the person to stay calm while they're cutting the car around them.
Exactly, you're the medical part.
Yeah. And so we really need somebody that can help with that fire part to kind of uplift it a little better on the areas where I slack.
Okay, anybody else on the board have a question? Because I'm going to open it up for public comment. Okay, I'm going to have to open this up for public comment. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment. All right. So, is there anything that the board sees on this, having heard, you know, what the purpose of this is, and changing the light duty mechanic to maintenance, that was a typo.
So I think the posting in the paper should say just about this, and that they should contact either the town office or the fire clerk for a detailed job description.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to put this whole thing in the paper. So just a short deal. Please contact, email, phone call, whatever, and then we'll tune this up the way we want it exactly, and then that will be, send it out to them and see what they think.
I
Plus
think
the
we
ad
need
would
to
cost.
amend to say 20 hours.
Yeah, yes, it needs to say 20
That's
hours.
fine, yeah.
I was unsure of the hours count when I was first writing it, so I kind of left that part and the pay part blank
Yeah.
until the people that knew better could get their eyes on it.
The
Well, this
form-
was to
the
get it
formula
out here,
that
yeah.
the state uses for that is 52 weeks times 20 hours less 1.
Oh, okay.
That's how you come up with 1,039. So we just keep 20 at max, and they usually get sick a day or two, and we stay under.
Okay.
And the
That's good to know.
maintaining of the records of the vehicle maintenance and things that's, we've got Joel doing the maintenance and such, but the records keeping, that's very important. And there's forms that need to be filled out, and we have something happen, OSHA comes through. You know,
I've been
we've got-
keeping us just barely legal when it comes to the equipment records. I've been keeping us like right there. But sometimes it, you know, there's a lot that the fire station needs, and so sometimes it falls through. Thankfully, when I frantically email the state officials and go, I'm so sorry, they're very nice about it and have been completely amazing with me. Everybody I've talked to has been.
And you've been working with Scott Lewis too.
Yes,
So
I've been
thank you very much for that. That helps quite a bit.
Yeah, I coordinate with Scott Lewis. I coordinate with Patrick from DEM. I coordinate with Harmon from Beatty Fire. I coordinate with Allison for Beatty Ambulance because they help us with a lot of our trainings and stuff. But we also do mutual aid with them. I've been working on contracts and stuff and all sorts of things with them.
Are you also in touch with Mercury, because they sometimes come out and help too?
Yeah, we're it's a loose touch.
Yeah, no.
Bruce didn't have time to actually introduce me to them, but at the LEPC meeting, Scott Lewis was able to introduce me, and so we've been able to communicate. That's not a line of communication that gets used very often because the test site is super busy and has their own stuff going on all the time too.
Okay. So the only thing is the time, the 20 hours a week. Okay. And everything else everybody's okay with? Is there any change you want to make? This would be the time to do it. Okay. Pat, you all right with this? Okay. Brenda? Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Back up the train. This was, I need to take your action away and the second, and then we're going to go back and make an approval.
I have to withdraw my motion.
Your motion.
So I withdraw my motion on the maintenance position
For the discussion.
and for discussion.
And then, who had the second? Pat had the second. Can you withdraw your second? Okay. Now, let's make the right motion.
So I make a motion that we advertise the
Approve this.
position of maintenance, for light duty maintenance and administration for $20 an hour, pay between $13 to $15.
Nope.
Or $20, not $20.
It's
20
13
hours.
to 13, 20 hours, right? Okay. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
So just to be clear, it was motion to advertise for part-time fire department admin and light duty maintenance. Maintenance, and that's the change from the agenda to maintenance, and 20 hours per week. Okay, great. All right, I'm going to call for the vote.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Appreciate it.
guys so much.
Thanks. Okay. Number 13, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, or deny the placing of speed bumps on School Lane to slow down traffic to and from the Airbnb at the end of the street. Okay, this is mine, so I'm going to make a motion to discuss so everybody can understand what's going on. There's an Airbnb at the end of School Lane, and we've had 2 animals hit and killed. They've had to throw some people out, but they're going down 60, 70 miles an hour. So we've got radar on School Lane right now. And we've got 3 kids that live on that block. So, and it's getting pretty dangerous when they have that, the noise level. Of course, we don't have any noise ordinance here. And on the Gary property, they torture the goats. You know, it's just a bad situation. We need a little bit of some kind of a governor on it, you know, especially for the kids involved in the dogs. I mean, the dogs, sure, they shouldn't be in the road, but that's what happens. I'd just like to see something happen to slow it down. The Delees were great. You know, this one particular time, they asked the people to leave. They threw them out. It was pretty bad. But I think if we could put speed bumps in, just in case we have that continuing to happen, they hit a speed bump instead of a kid. That's pretty much my thought process on it. We've been asked to do that many times just for the children on the road, but that was before the Airbnb. Now it's when it happens, it's, you know, and it's a big piece of property, and they can party down there all they want, but then they come in and out just guns a-blazing, you know, just all really fast. So we've had some losses, and I just want to make sure that we can slow them down at least. Okay, that's my story.
Okay, we just need to, the road department says they cannot put speed bumps on top of chip seal, so we need to just say some sort of traffic control over.
There's no chip seal on that part of the road. It's all dirt.
Oh, so you're going to try and put speed bumps in dirt?
We got to do something.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
don't
do
care if it's
something.
just we've got to do something.
Okay.
Speed bumps made out of dirt or rock or something. I don't know.
Some sort of traffic control.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John DeLee is the one that told him, the Garys call the office and have them, you know, do something. So that's what we're trying to do. Just slow them down. Because it is a maintained road up till the end of when the dirt starts.
Probably just telephone poles across there.
Oh, that might be a bit much.
I probably know a place we could probably get some.
Of course, we could dig holes and no. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Okay. Well, let's
just change it to some sort of traffic control and then see what we can come up with.
Okay.
Okay.
Or we can just table it and see what we can come back with. You got an idea, Brenda?
Well, and we need to add this.
Oh. North of Farm Road. My side. Okay. All right. So we'll table this for a little bit more research.
Would they be willing to, would the Delees be willing to pay for it?
I could ask. I could ask.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Rebecca Lucas, LUCAS. So I did speak to some of the road maintenance crews. They came in to notify me that they put the speed radar there, just so that we were aware that they were trying to do something. When I spoke to, I believe his name is Brian, when I spoke to him, he said that they can't put, he told me about not being able to put the speed bumps on the chip sealed roads. And then he said that it's really kind of impossible to put speed bumps in dirt as well. He was like, we could try and change the speed limit. I said that only works if we have a cop out here to enforce said speed limit. So we're really gonna have to put our heads together on this one, because it seems like no matter what I pitched out there, he was like, nope. So we're really gonna have to try and put our heads together on this one and figure out what we can do, because we're kind of hitting blocks every time, railroad blocks every time we try and do something. They're like, nope, can't do it. So
That was our Brian that said all that. I'll talk to him. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
Can you take, along with the radar, can you take photos of cars that are breaking the speed limit?
Oh, we've got pictures of, like, the people that we're renting and their license plates. But, you know, how far that can go, I don't know. Like I said, the Delees say just call the office, and well, here we are, you know. And I didn't know that, I knew of one dog being hit. And that was one that kind of chased cars, so I didn't really think much of it. But then there was another one that, one of the Gary's dogs. And so they put a huge fence up to keep them from getting out. But you can't always do that. But if it was a child, there's 3 kids right there.
You got a nice fence up there with the gate open.
Yeah.
What's the purpose? But anyway, what about narrowing the street? Some kind of barriers or something up to make the street very narrow so that they can slow down that way.
We'll have to take it all into consideration and see what we can do. Because sometimes they're coming down on their 4-wheelers too. Okay, well, we're going to table this then. Bring it back after a little bit of forethought, what we can do. Thank you for clarifying that, Becca. Okay, number 15, for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to approve, amend, and approve or deny trunk or treat budget of $300. It's, again, $50 for best costume, $50 for best trunk, $200 for candy, fiscal impact $300.
I make a motion to do this.
I'll second it.
Okay, let's clarify. Make a motion for $300 for trunk or treat. Is that your motion?
To amend?
No. Is that your motion to approve the $300 budget for?
Yeah, to approve.
And I'll second that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is there any public comment? Okay. Closing public comment. I'm going to call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, number 16, general public comment. Up to 3-minute time limit per person. Action will not be taken on matters considered during this period until specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Is there any public comment? Okay, all right. Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Board member comments. Mike?
Yeah. We still got all the solar stuff coming at us. The mineral withdrawal, that whole thing is looking very good. We've met with La Hoste to make sure they're able to continue their operation without being regulated or anything like that. Update on that solar recycling company. We are still in conversation with them. They have a parcel picked out. We're going to see what that is. And then I'm going to meet with them and Brent Wagner, see if we can get that going forward. Again, that is a operation that does not contribute to the landfill, does not use a lot of water, and pays a starting wage in the low 20s, and with about 40 to 50 people when they get operational. So I'll end up on a good note for a change.
Pat?
Yes. There's a new Indian restaurant at Farm Amargosa. I would like new businesses to get 2 or 3 months free color ad in our newsletter. And I would also like to see us investigating making money with our marquee for advertising as well. In addition, I wish there were more people here because I don't think many realize how much time and effort Mike and Carolyn have put into the lithium, the solar problems that we're having. This has gone from a semi-part-time, they're basically working full-time. And it's very much appreciated.
Thank you, Pat. Brenda? Nothing? Okay. First of all, welcome Bobby and Richard. These are going to be 2 new board members in January. I think this is probably the smallest group we've had. We've been like 40, 50 people, but I think the misposting last time, they may all be here tomorrow. Joke's on them. It's been a lot of work, but the mineral withdrawal, the application was submitted, and it's up at the federal level. We are set to go either November or December for the mineral withdrawal. And as Mike said, we met with La Hoste. We've been protecting them because they've been our neighbors since the 60s. And so now that it's going to go the federal route, and it'll go straight into NEPA for segregation. And so we will be able to carve out and protect them if need be, which I think it will need to be, because we were really trying hard to save our water, save Ash Meadows, and save our existence. Solar, there is some good news, I think, so I'm going to throw it out there. There is, the 4 parcels that went for auction with the BLM. Those are a definite go, okay? The good news is that the transmission lines that it's going to take to hook them up to won't be here till 29, maybe 28 if you're really aggressive, but I doubt it. 30, 29, 30, 31. So everybody can just kind of calm down a little bit. And then with the new solar PEIS, there's some new guidelines that these need to be close to transmission lines. There has been 541 applications for the last cluster, what they call the cluster for the hookup and the transmission. And so BLM and CalISO have said, ooh, we kind of messed up. They used to say, get your connection and then go find your land. Well, now we've got over 1,000 applications, nowhere to hook it up. And so what's happening is, to get the connection, they have a $10,000 application fee, which is nothing for some of these companies. And then they get back what their connection costs are. So for an example, and I'm going to put it out there, NextEra, which has the 10,000 acre 373.95 project, their connection fees are $200 million. And so to keep that in the queue, as it goes down, that's going to be 29, 30, 31, they would have to pay 10% at each stage, which is $20 million. So, and all these projects, there's 4 projects in the green link, and 2 of them have already dropped out because of money. There's a lot of incentives, a lot of tax abatement. People got in there, there was not a lot of skin in the game at the time. Now they've switched it where you have to find your land and then come after your connection. And so all the connections, we anticipate a lot of these projects are going to have to drop off because of the new solar PEIS. 2 of them, which are north towards Beatty, they can't be done because they're too far away from the transmission. So there's several things that are working in our favor, and a lot of these projects are going to drop off, we think. Okay, so I will keep you posted as I'm posted, but that was good news for me. I could breathe a little bit. And that's exactly what the person that delivered the news said. They were like this with their hand. So unless you're if you're on TV, you saw what I did. But anyway, so it's not a panic situation, but we are still right in there every step of the way. And I think with these new changes, we still got a lot of mountains to climb. Just we don't want to roll down them, okay? But anyway, that's it for now.
One more thing.
Okay. Oh, one more thing. Okay.
Bruce and Melanie are on YouTube. I'll get some more information that I can pass on. Have you seen them?
I only know this because I was their first subscriber to their YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is called Sailing Lucy Lynn. You can watch, it's the progress of the restoration of their boat. They plan on doing their sailing when they start going around the world and kind of vlogging their experiences and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Melanie's a great editor.
And I wanted to encourage everybody to vote, please, for our country.
Okay, thank you, everybody. For possible action,
Motion to adjourn?
set a date and time for November 21st, 2024 at 6:30, so that's a change, it's a week earlier. Otherwise, we'd be having it on Thanksgiving. So it's going to be November 21st, 2024